speaking of game-based live-action things, surprising no one, Ubisoft's live-action Splinter Cell movie that had Tom Hardy attached to it for a long, long time is officially not happening. Splinter Cell is cursed. I'm going to be the guy. I'm always the guy that will go to bat for Splinter Cell. So this, if you're wondering, like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? When did they announce a Splinter Cell movie with Tom Hardy? Over a decade ago. November, it was 2012. 2012, when they were still making Splinter Cell games, they announced a Splinter Cell movie with Tom Hardy. At the time, he'd just come off of being Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. He was going to play Sam Fisher. Then a couple years after that, Doug Liman, the director of Edge of Tomorrow, was brought in to direct. But since then, apart from vague quotes about how things were going from the people involved, nothing concrete emerged. And now, producer Basil Ivanek, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has confirmed that the Splinter Cell movie is dead. In an interview with The Direct, Ivanek called the film, quote, one of the ones that got away. Here's a full quote. That movie would have been awesome, Ivanek said. Just couldn't get it right, script-wise, budget-wise, but it was going to be great. We had a million different versions of it, but it was going to be hardcore and awesome. That's one of the ones that got away, which is really sad. Mr. Hyam, did you, like me, is your neck needing a neck brace from the whiplash you got listening to that quote?
Yeah, kind of. I'm like, we had a million ideas. It was going to be awesome. Like, which one of the million ideas? That doesn't sound like y'all were really
Doesn't sound like it was that great, does it?
Yeah. It's like, you should probably decide on one of those million ideas before you say, this is going to be hardcore and awesome. Like, what does that even mean, dog? Yeah, I mean, I would love a Splinter Cell adaptation, but from that perspective, like, maybe it's better that we kind of didn't get whatever they were cooking. So, man, I miss Splinter Cell though.
It is a cursed property. I'm convinced. I mean, the last game was excellent. Blacklist was really good.
Yeah, and guess when that came out, Ryan? 11 years ago.
I know. That game came out. That was at the end of the 360 generation.
Yeah.
That game wasn't even on Xbox One. That was an Xbox 360 game.
Yep.
We have not had Splinter Cell in over a generation now, and yet Ubisoft keeps I want to use an inappropriate term. They just keep torturing us by putting Sam like as cameos in other Ubisoft things, and Third Echelon is in
Siege,
X Defiant, and it's just like, oh man, you guys. And allegedly they're remaking Splinter Cell 1. There's been zero evidence since the announcement where they shared 3 pieces of concept art.
They said they're remaking 1. We'll see.
They said it. They
say a lot of
it
things
for sure.
I'm worried about Ubisoft existing in 5 years, honestly, with all the legal drama that they're going through right now, and the fact that their staff is on strike, and the issues with the French government and a potential hostile takeover. Like, there's bigger problems than the fact that the Tom Hardy Splinter Cell movie is happening. Splinter Cell might not be, or not, Ubisoft might not be happening in 5 years if they don't figure out how to get out of this mess they're in.
Phil Spencer, you're listening at the dog park right now. I need a favor. I'm not rooting for Ubisoft to fail.
No.
But as Destin pointed out, they're not exactly having the best time right now. If worse comes to worse, Phil, I need you to buy the Clancy brand from Ubisoft. If there's like a corpse of Ubisoft, you need to buy it, because years and years ago, many, many years ago now, Ubisoft actually bought the entire, the Clancy brand. Like, they can do any Clancy things they want without the Clancy estate being involved. So, Phil, I need you to pick up the Clancy brand and revive it to its OG Xbox glory days when we were getting Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six and Splinter Cell. You could branch out into other stuff. And Phil, I need a Splinter Cell game. So
Yeah,
if Ubi can't do it, I need Phil Spencer to dig into those couch cushions where there are tens of millions of dollars hiding in the couch cushions and just hook this up for me, man. I don't ask for much. I need that.
For a while, Tom Clancy games were timed exclusives on the original Xbox.
Exactly.
Also, so there's some history there with that.
Exactly. That's I would think. Maybe not anymore today, but I think older gamers like me absolutely associate Clancy games with Xbox for that.
Yeah, I'm washed up too, Ryan.
Reason.
Yep.
Yeah, hell yes. Stella, so as the resident youth on the panel, do you have any care at all about Splinter Cell, or is it just like a thing the olds talk about?
Oh my God, you're not that old. But I think I would have been interested in this because, again, I keep hearing from Ryan specifically just how good this game series was, and I was like, man, I'm so sad that I missed out on this. But also, I feel like the concept of Splinter Cell would translate really well to a show or a movie. I feel like it would do really well, right? Like, people love action movies, and this is something like that could totally fit into that genre. So
yeah, it
sucks. I feel like it could totally be something that the general public would be very into, right? Aren't there already Tom Clancy books and properties that have been turned into shows?
Oh yeah,
I think, right?
Jack Ryan is a Tom Clancy thing, right? So
like it would
and that's
be fine.
a whole.
Also, Splinter Cell, the name itself is just really cool. It's very unique. I think that would draw in a lot of people, right? Like, ooh, let's go and see what this is about. This sounds really cool. I don't know. I'm disappointed. I just want more good TV. And if they're from video games, that's even better. So,
and to your point about the general public eating up a spy movie, like we're between eras of James Bond right now. So like they haven't even cast the next. This is a great time for good writers and producers and a cast and crew to come in. Now is the time to strike with a Splinter Cell movie when there's a gap in the market for it. I mean, you could maybe argue Mission Impossible, which is winding down now with this last one, but I wouldn't really call that a spy movie. That's more of a blockbuster, awesome action franchise. But yeah, Splinter Cell's cursed. At this point, I would not be I'm pretty much half expecting Netflix in sometime in the next few months to just quietly cancel the Liev Schreiber animated Splinter Cell show that they announced 2 months ago. I am optimistic for that. I think, as I said at the time, I think Liev Schreiber's awesome casting as to voice Sam in a assuming Ironside either didn't want to do it or whatever, but because you can't replace Michael Ironside, but Schreiber's a great pick, so we'll see if that Netflix animated Splinter Cell show ever actually comes out, because at this point I'm skeptical.